Hello and welcome to the Too Much Time on Our Hands podcast. You're joining us for the latest episode of the Too Much Time on Our Hands podcast. If you're listening to this, for posterity's sake, just let me know. I'm just letting you know here. We are filming this on the night of the 2024 UK general election. It's well before the exit polls and well before the results are coming in. So we don't know who won or wins. But that will give you some sort of taste for why we are going to be looking today at our favourite fictional tyrants, rulers, and leaders.
Indeed. Tom, you keep talking, but we're not appearing in the Zoom window. I think Zoom has updated, and now OBS doesn't know what it is. So keep talking, and I'll make sure that we appear at some point.
Okay. So we're yeah.
Duncan, put your dick away.
We're going to be yeah. Oh. Yeah, we're not the Tory party causing scandals. That's the word. Yeah, so we're going to be looking at our favourite rulers, tyrants, leaders, dictators, all that kind of stuff from fiction, whether it be books, films, video games, etc., 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 in honour of the fact that it is the UK general election 2024. And as I said, we don't know who won yet. Anyway, before we get into all that,
fuck the Tories.
Okay, before we get into all that, let's do some introductions. We'll just go quickly to Russ because I know he's fiddling with OBS. Hello, Russ.
What's up?
Hello, Dan.
Duncan, how is your arsehole green?
Hello, Duncan. How are you, green arsehole?
Why would it be green?
Why would it be green?
Oh man,
How have you managed that? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah. This is why home bleaching is never advised.
Hi and hi handies.
Hi
everyone.
handies. We keep forgetting hi handies.
I'm not forgetting this. I will not let Dan forget.
I think I've got
this.
it working.
Excellent. And
that's
hello,
what she said.
and hello from me. I'm Tom. I'm the one that just did the intro a minute ago. So yeah, UK general election. Before we kick this thing off, shall we just go around the room and do some quick predictions? Because I think there might be some, major differences. I mean, we were all coming at this from different angles. Let's go. Yeah,
no
Duncan,
one's a Tory here,
Duncan, it's for humour. It's humour. I'm telling a joke. Duncan, what do you think the result is going to be?
Hopefully the Tories are obliterated.
Amazing. I like that though, but you're going to come at it for a different one, because if you ask me, I'd say I hope we get a Labour majority. You're hoping that the Tories lose. I'm hoping that Labour win. If you see what I mean. Dan, what do you think?
I would like the Tories to lose and reluctantly accepting a Labour government.
I do see. We're all going on a different one. And Russ, prediction?
I mean, I
unfortunately, the plug party isn't a thing, so
it doesn't take that. I don't think it's going to be that much of a difficult one to call in terms of who's going to win. I'm just looking forward to seeing some sort of high-profile cabinet ministers sloping off in disgrace at about 4:30.
Jeremy Hunt is the domino I cannot wait to see topple.
Yeah,
I'm actually really hoping Count Binface beats Sunak, because that would be
Who he's going up against? Does he always go up against the leader?
No, but he decided.
I didn't
this
realise
time
he was standing, but yeah, he's. It's just mate,
bring back CFAX.
There are many problems with our electoral system, but the fact that the Prime Minister has to stand there on a stage looking all serious with fucking Count Binface right behind him, who has just as much right to be there as he does on TV.
It's
that's
so
marvellous.
Good, isn't it? It would only be made better if he was still wet. Just still sopping wet after 6 weeks.
Mentally,
such a dismal campaign.
He has had a small personal cloud just raining on him. Nobody else can see it, but you can tell that to him, he is just being drenched in misery.
You've got to love the fact that the Financial Times led with a story. I think it was about 3 hours ago, where it just said one of the Prime Minister's key cabinet ministers was interviewed by the Financial Times, giving us the quote, "I think it's probably time we all admit we're facing the biggest defeat since the biggest defeat that the Tory party has ever suffered." And you go, this is a cabinet minister on election night, just basically going, "Oh, it's fucked.
We're fucked, lads. We're
screwed. We're screwed." They are saying that it could be the biggest the biggest Conservative loss, i.e., the least amount of seats they've ever won since the 1906 election, which is like over 100 years ago. It's going to be good.
Just at the end of the Industrial Revolution as well.
Yeah.
Like it's just
When the Whigs were still a thing.
It's a grown up
Whig
dying.
Party.
Yeah, dying in machinery. That's what it could be up against.
Yeah. I mean, this
So good.
You know, you still get the sense that Jacob Rees-Mogg really looks back on that as a golden age that he's hoping to bring us all back to.
God, I hate him.
Proper porn was proper porn. An ankle.
The exit poll will be coming out in about half an hour, so we can bring it to you live on a podcast that you're probably watching in a couple of weeks' time.
But you're probably listening. You're probably listening to in a couple of weeks' time because I doubt anyone's going to be watching the stream
So
tonight.
we won't dwell on it too much, but we'll probably mention it when it pops up.
Well, there we go. There's some interesting. Sorry, Dan, you were going to say.
I was going to say I didn't know what an exit poll was until I was like my mid-20s, and then someone explained to me it's literally an exit poll. It's not. There's nothing clever about it. It's
literally asking people as they walk out the polling booth.
Who'd you vote for, you prick?
Yeah, Labour.
Yeah.
Boom. Yeah.
Isn't an exit poll when you piss with an erection?
No, that's just a difficult one.
I'm just bringing it down.
There's been some concerns.
That's what we should do before
Fitting
you go
for
to
the 4th
toilet.
of July, indeed, yes. It's our Independence Day, I suppose.
Independence, if you're in North
Whenever I
Hamilton
think of
and
that,
Richmond.
I think of the day after the referendum, Nigel Farage standing on the grass outside the House of Parliament
Fucking
saying,
grifting
"Today is
cunt."
our Independence Day." Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And
Why did they?
they had no right to be
choosing
there.
a date for an election. Go with a date that's renowned historically for Britain having the shit kicked out of it and losing massively. Yeah, that'll really fire people up, won't it?
A highly crown-loving unionist government getting its ass kicked. Yeah.
Happy days.
What was I going to say? I've forgotten. Oh, there's been some concern about people using pencils to fill in their voter
This
poll.
pops up every
There's someone with a
election.
rubber.
It's utter bullshit.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, if voting fraud is going to happen, it's not going to be Doris sitting
Some
there
little
just
dude with a
rubbing
rubber.
out the crosses.
And these ones are right. They look because most rubbers are shit, and if they're council rubbers, they're going to be even shitter. So they're not going to, they're going to rub a hole in the paper and then cross somewhere else.
Come on, Avis, just another 50,000 to do.
That goes around every election. You get these pricks that get all their news off of Facebook stories sent to them by their aunt, who turn up at the polling station with a biro going, "Oh, you're not going to get me." Yeah,
They need to hand out those bingo blotters. The ones that are just a.
No, but I'm shit with them because I will get it all over the bottom side of my hand. So I'll just end up voting for everyone.
Yeah.
I've never used one of those, but I wasn't aware that there was this much technique involved.
Did you hear the story
bingo.
Did you hear the story about some people? I can't remember whether it was in Scotland or somewhere that were being told
One of those heathen wastelands.
as they walked in, there were signs that said, "Just rank them all in preferred order. So just start at one, and just with the one you want most to get into power." And someone had to be reminded that we don't have the alternate vote system in the UK. We have the first past the post. So it's when it's even the ballot paper itself said just put a cross next to the one you want. No one else. But the signs outside were saying just list it.
It might be Scotland because they might have accidentally put up what happens during the Holyrood.
Yeah,
elections.
they do use that for
That is an AB system, yes.
but not for the
General
people voting in Scotland tonight. That won't apply.
No.
So what they said was
Transferable vote.
anyone's ballot paper who had listed out, they would basically just take the one that had the number one next to it.
Yeah, it doesn't count
But
as a
I
spoiled
ranked
ballot
my
if
favourite
it's
as
clear
point
which
system.
one you wanted to. So you could probably draw a cock and balls next to the ones you don't want and put a cross on the one you do want, and that would probably count. It would go to someone to sort of adjudicate, but you'd probably be okay with that as long as it's clear what your intention was.
Toying with the idea of spoiling her ballot paper in a very
who's that?
similar way.
Who's that, Tom?
How have?
There we go, thank you.
How have? Drawing a willy. and putting next to it. I vote
But
for
you'd have to
Captain-
like if you just put a
Captain
willy
Cox.
in one, like is that the willy of approval or is that the willy of disapproval? So that would probably count as a spoiled ballot because they can't be sure if that is an endorsement willy or
What happened?
a disapproval willy.
Well, if it's a floppy, then it's probably a disapproval. But if it's one with
Again, it's
the traditional
very much
spur,
a judgment call by the local returning officer. But yeah, if you drew some flaccid little wieners in some of the boxes and then a throbbing stonk in one of them, you'd probably interpret that.
Here's the
What
thing:
would
you'll
they-
never know.
You know
You'll
those.
never know.
You know those.
You can't
fingerprint-
go then to the counter and be like, "Hello, yes, I'm the willy guy. Just wanted to know how that whole thing panned out."
So
the
I
problem
was.
is they go, which one?
Yeah, which one?
Probably.
So you know those like ink like boxes that you get, which you like sort of you put stamps in and then you
Duncan,
put a
what's
rubber
happening?
stamp in and stuff like that. I was toying with the idea of taking my marvelous new penis down and a little ink box and just dick slapping the square just to give a kind of immediate stamp of approval.
Have you
I was not
mentioned your
expecting
marvelous
the word
new
dick
penis on the
slapping
pod
to
yet,
pop
Duncan?
up.
Tom?
Oh, I don't think so. I
mean,
have,
you,
no.
Duncan.
No, I don't think I have ever mentioned Tom's marvelous new penis.
Tom's marvelous. That's definitely a story Roald Dahl didn't. Right.
No, but it's a story for another day. We're just going to leave the handies in bliss. So shall we shift on and talk about some of our favourite leaders, tyrants, dictators, bosses that we love from fictional media?
Yeah.
Well, not that the media
Not
itself
love.
is
Let's-
fictional. but
Love
fiction.
/ hate / think are awesome.
Absolutely. Okay, who wants to go first? Hang on. Random light. Shine your light. Russ, we'll start with you and then we'll just work it out as we go.
I mean, you definitely weren't pointing at me, but yeah, sure. So,
Oh, I was on my screen.
well, that's utterly irrelevant, isn't it?
Look, if I point over here, that's you.
No,
Down
you're
here
not,
is
yeah.
Duncan and there's Dan.
Yeah, that's completely wrong, but never mind.
What do you mean it's wrong?
Well, Dan is below you, and Duncan's opposite you in the corner.
I'm actually opposite, but
No.
all right, hang on.
No, I think you'll find you're all wrong.
Sorry.
Russ is above me, Tom's below me,
Mm.
and Duncan is below Tom.
Oh, now that's a
Oh,
stack.
no,
This is all utterly relevant
I've just-
to anyone
Duncan's
watching.
doing all the work here
Somehow
on this one.
even more irrelevant
Yeah,
to
all the
anyone
heavy
listening.
lifting.
As always.
All right.
Right, shut
Russ.
your sodding balls. Elizabeth I from Blackadder.
Oh,
Yes.
Okay, very good. Yeah, good.
Queenie.
Sort of like
I've got such a crush on him.
I know it's meant to be sort of like a piss take representative, but it's a really good representative of just like the danger of being close to power of that type. Like everyone wants, they're all sort of vying and jostling for position in the court, but you've got a non-zero chance of having your head removed by the end of the day for the slightest transgression, perceived or real.
Need someone to replace the current executed general. Is that what they're called? And guess what happened to the last one? Got drunk and signed his own name on the death warrant.
I also love that she plays her as a sort of a 14-year the mentality of a 14 to 16-year-old girl who has basically been promoted way above her station and is still running is her nose as cute as mine? Oh no, ma'am. Good, because if it was, I'd have to cut it off. Imagine the mess when she had a cold. Yeah.
I may have the heart of a weakened feeble. Well, I may have. Well, fuck, what's the
I
quote?
may have the heart and stomach.
of a weak and feeble woman, but I have the. What's
Oh
the
no,
fucking quote?
I may have the body of a weak and feeble.
woman, but I have the heart and stomach of a concrete elephant.
First, I'm going to have a little drinky, and then I'm going to knock your block off.
See the goblin.
See, it's the
Yeah, she sort of switches from like cutesy to really menacing quite quickly.
She's so good. Miranda Richardson's great as well.
Yeah.
Miranda Richardson, that's the name of the actor. Yes.
She's incredible.
Yeah, she's amazing. That's a good choice for us.
Yeah. Well, I'll piggyback on the back of that because I was going to go Prince George as well.
Excellent.
From Blackadder 3, who is just, once again, just a child. Like, I love that in every series, the royalty in these are portrayed as having no idea what's happening in the real world. Which
I mean,
is probably
that completely ruined like other portrayals of that character, because I think, oh yeah, it's that one.
It's not accustomed as I am to public speaking.
I still love the tally ho, my young juicy young trollop, and get together all your naughty night attire and all your cash, and come over here, and you'll be staring at my bedroom ceiling from now until Christmas, you lucky tart. Respectfully yours, signed George. So, do you mind if I change just one tiny aspect? Yes, what is it?
Time.
The words? Oh yes, sausage time. Sausage time.
Oh god, it's so good.
That one is that episode might be my favorite of the whole one, with the whole series 3 with the with the squirrels.
That's Miranda Richardson again, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Twitchy nosed little bastards.
My favorite episode's Dictionary, I think so. And actually,
I was thinking of the election one. I was just thinking,
we were just talking about that before we came on.
Yeah, before you joined me. So I was saying I was going to watch that episode while waiting for any interesting results to come in. I think I'm just going to have to watch all of Blackadder 3.
Yeah, it's the easiest way to do it.
Peptic, transmotic, even compunctuous to not have facilitated your every need.
Yeah. I'm mimeospeptic, even phasmotic, to cause you such pericobobulations. Once upon a time, there was a lovely little sausage called
Baldric,
and he lived happily ever after. This is my magnificent octopus.
Oh god, it's so. 3 is my favourite series.
Baldric, you're turning into an Alsatian. Stop it.
Oh, it's a dream. It's a bloody dream.
I love you, Dr. Johnson. I want to have your babies.
God, it's so good. It's brilliant. Yeah.
Robbie Coltrane is in that episode.
I love Robbie Coltrane. Anyway.
Amazing.
Robbie Coltrane did this. This is a tangent. Sorry. This great series where he just drove around in a convertible around B roads, like discovering
I love those
landmarks
shows
and stuff.
Like when you get to a point in your career where Channel 4 just call up and say, "Do you want to do a show where you just like take a train across Italy?"
Yeah.
For any particular reason? No, you just sort of do it, and you have a little chat about stuff, and maybe eat some nice pasta.
We'll send you to really nice places.
I really enjoyed Timothy Spall on a boat.
Oh yeah,
it was hilarious. It was great because he's great. You just get the good characters, the good actors.
I'm with all of any series like that is fucking brilliant.
Timothy Spall, the actor that played Captain Darling?
No. Timothy Spall. He was in Harry Potter. He's a quite famous actor. He's got. Who's he playing?
He was the guy that.
He's the Spark in Auf Wiedersehen, Pet.
Yeah.
He's the guy that meets Lister and the rest of them when they come out of the despair squids.
Yeah.
Well, when they enter
bloody blatant, isn't it?
Yeah.
Tim McInnery is the guy that plays
Tim McInnery. Yeah. Who apparently couldn't quite lose the twitch, had to sort of sort himself out for a few months and stop doing the Darling twitch.
But he's also Percy as well, isn't he? So
yeah.
Oh, he is Percy, yes. Well, fashion today is towards the tiny. Well, then, Percy, you have the tiniest, most fashionable brain.
One step away from saying, "Hey, nonny, nonny," then I'm afraid I'm going to have to call the police.
Yeah, I touched her once. Oh, I've never heard it called that before.
Sorry. I was going to say, actually, Lord General Melchett in Blackadder 4. Brilliant.
What's the scale of this? 1 to 1, sir.
My God, it's a desolate wasteland out there. Just a short back in size today? No, sir. That's Corporal Black. It's Captain Blackadder. Let's hear about the mission. Yes, the special mission. All Field Marshal Haig's wife's friends. All Field Marshal Haig's wife's friends' tennis partners. And some chap I bumped into with the mess the other day called Bernard. Oh, fuck me. It's so good. Right, we could do Blackadder quotes all day.
You and me, darling, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to make you happy,
we've got to stop just saying Blackadder lines at each other.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
This whole thing is niche enough for like British people our age.
Okay.
Let's not try and just do that all night.
Let's loop it out. Okay, here we go. Random light, shine your light bright. Duncan, we're getting an order. Russ, Duncan, and is it going to be Dan or Tom next? Ooh.
I don't know whether to
Pick one, babe. Pick one.
All right. Christian Avasarala. Oh, did I get a name wrong?
Mm-hmm.
I was going to save her probably to the end, but I just want to jump on this because she's just the best. Like, during the dark years of Tories, which is many, you read the Expanse books and you read her, and she is brutal. She probably is borderline tyrant, but she is effective and she is efficient, and actually her thing is she is very much like for the greater good, but she just takes no shit. She swears more than anyone, and she's just brilliant.
She's got the best lines in the Expanse as well.
Oh yeah, very much so.
Oh,
where are you going with this? Like, wherever I goddamn like.
She does bad things for a good reason.
Yeah,
like she breaks the rules and does some pretty shady shit.
She knows everyone's a fucking idiot, but she still wants to save them.
Like she's pretty much always right, isn't she? And she's sort of doing things for the right reason. I just absolutely love the detail of when she's like typing a text message to somebody in one series, and like all of her predictive text suggestions are variants on "fuck you," "fuck off," "fuck it," "what the fuck." It's just a nice little touch.
Don't stick your dick in it, holding it fucked
on up already.
But Tom would understand this because the Expanse isn't for him.
No, I still don't think it's really my cup of tea. I just sort of a rich sci-fi world. It just doesn't sound like my
too intellectual.
What does she say to the people that are trying to take back the touchy as to like the explanation? Touchy for the explanation as to what they need to send back to their general. I can't remember. You know, the three people that they rescue.
Yeah.
I can't remember. Like that. It's like we'll do the simple way or the long way. And it's just the way she talked down to them is just absolute genius. It's so good.
I'm disappointed because I thought you were going to get more riled up by me saying that it's not for me. I thought I was going to.
You know that
see Mount Dan erupt.
No,
you know that Mad Men meme when they get in the lift and the guy turns to Don Draper and says, "You know, sometimes I pity you," and Don Draper turns to him and goes, "I don't think about you at all." That's now where I'm at with the Expanse, Tom.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say with me, and I was like, dude, like, let's not throw away years of friendship. But fair enough. Yeah.
If you don't want to watch the Expanse, that's up to you, Tom.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's because I don't think it would really be the sort of thing that I'd like.
No, maybe not. That's up to you.
It's not going to work. Yeah, like
I love it. You're not going to crack, are you?
Space truckers type thing. That's no way to open something, is it?
With some kind of alien thing that's kind of infiltrated.
Doesn't sound familiar.
Seriously,
there's quite a few.
You fucking prick. Watch until, at least just watch the first series. And
there's quite a few.
Thanks for cracking, Russ. I appreciate that. I needed
Russ,
that. I just needed it. I just needed that. I needed someone to buckle.
It's all right. We know that Tom's got deviant opinions because he thinks Alien is like Ridley Scott's best film. I'm pushing down. I'm pushing.
The juice of the hive mind vomited into my mouth is about to come back.
I mean, it's
up.
not as good. It's not as good as The Martian. So you know.
Fuck me.
I like The Martian, by the way. I think it's a good film.
I do too. I like it.
Fun,
I think Matt Damon did a great job.
Because I mean, let's like compared to The Martian, Alien it's just a bit silly, isn't it?
Yeah,
a bit frothy, a bit nothingy.
Not really deep, is it?
Let's be honest, mate. It's a bit far fetched.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. No, I'm not going to buy it.
Actually, like, I mean, at least it's a proper serious film.
Actually, we've delayed Tom watching
stuff to say about like humanity and ideas and sort of people's place in the universe and
the Expanse. Like it's kind of like Alien, but for grown-ups. You know,
it's probably best you don't watch it. You probably wouldn't really get it properly.
Yeah. Just you stick with the Alien. Stick with Alien, buddy. Okay. You started this, Tom.
No, I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah, you'd enjoy like the zoomy spaceships and the flashing lights and stuff in the Expanse, but
Oh, look, there's some smoke.
I hate to tell you this, mate, but there are some bits where like they do like talking, you know.
Oh,
And even
there's not
worse,
much of that
some
in
thinking.
Alien, actually.
There's
But
not, no.
when they do use it, they don't feel the need to just waffle on and on and on and fill scenes with it. It's there's a lot of environmental storytelling and things like that. It's very highbrow stuff.
We know.
I
we
love,
did
I
three.
love watching Ripley walk around corners. It's great.
We know, Tom. We did 3 episodes on Alien.
That's true. That's true. We did. It was very
In-depth.
it was grueling.
All right. Right. Go on. Do your shining
It's Tom.
light.
Yeah, who's your leader, Tom?
Right. Okay. So our order then is going to be Russ, Duncan, me, and then Dan.
I said, I think you said Prince Andrew. Prince George.
Oh, of course you did. You said Prince
Yeah.
George.
Yeah.
So Russ, Dan, Duncan, and then me. Yeah.
Yeah, so you're up.
So my first one, I didn't want to go for something obvious, so I've gone for something that I think is a little less obvious. Is Tyler Durden, the leader of the Space Monkeys, and in that particular universe, the downfall of the modern financial system by destroying all of the credit card company buildings at the end of the film. So I've chosen obviously film Tyler Durden rather than book Tyler Durden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to say it, but they probably do have off-site backups of all their data.
Nope. Not how it works, Russ.
No, not in cinema world.
I mean,
not in cinema world.
their data is very unlike. Like their actual data center won't be in the same. It's not going to be in that building.
I think it's naive to think that those are the only buildings that the Space Monkeys have wired to blow.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just that city's collection of credit card company buildings that they've detonated, because it seems to me, considering the amount of flights you see him crisscrossing across the United States when he realizes the truth about his relationship to Tyler Durden, I think it's meant to be a national organization by that point, at least in the United States. So yeah, no, I mean, I just that film, I love it. I've been obsessed with it ever since I saw it, because I just think that Edward Norton and Brad Pitt put in phenomenal performances,
Yeah, it's an amazing.
and
film.
Brad Pitt's portrayal of Tyler Durden, and also then I guess conversely Edward Norton's Tyler Durden.
So sorry to interrupt, but I do just have to check. Do you think it's an awesome film because it's an amazing script and compelling performances, or do you think it's an amazing film because you think Tyler Durden is the exact example of how men should behave in the world?
I think the former,
Okay,
not the one
just,
that you,
just to
not
check,
the latter.
just to check that we didn't have
Yeah.
to remove you from our circle of acquaintances.
No.
It's like the Joker film because I just relate to him so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. No, what? Jesus Christ. No. Great film. Great script. Very clever characters. Yeah. No. But not. No. I know.
You're not
no.
one of those people who's making like TikTok supercuts of like Tyler Durden, the guy from Peaky Blinders, and Joker,
Raging Bull.
saying like, you know,
Yeah.
these are really real men acting like real men should.
No. Because even the Tyler Durden character at one point says, self-improvement is just masturbation, but self-destruction, and that's the point. He's like, that it is self-destructive what they're doing. It is massively self-destructive, and then outwardly destructive as well because of that. And no, it's not. It's not a good role model. It's meant to be that whole message of
Yeah.
repressed masculinity, if it's not channeled in effective ways, is outwardly unleashed against fucking everyone.
Yes. It's amazing how many people managed to miss that with that movie.
Yeah, absolutely. And also the amount of people who manage to miss that not all men are like that. Like they are the exception, like people like that are the
yeah.
exception, not the rule. But yeah, no, I just think Tyler Durden's a great leader, like obviously charismatic and all that sort of stuff. He's portrayed as
That's probably like the main thing that we're talking about here is like people who are just supremely characters that are just oozing charisma.
and his monologues are like really powerful and stuff like that. And I just think, funnily enough, the way Brad Pitt plays Tyler Durden actually comes across as slightly nicer than I imagine it must have been for if you put yourself in the head of one of the Space Monkeys. Edward Norton's character sort of withers away over the course of that film, getting paler and paler and more beaten up and black and bloodied and bruised. And like, I feel like would be quite a scary individual to actually interact with, because one minute he's charismatic Tyler Durden talking about people being all singing, all dancing crap of the world, and then the next minute he doesn't have a fucking clue who you are. You know, bizarre. Anyway, yeah, that's my choice.
Yeah, nice one.
That's Russ.
Russell,
To me, who am I going to go for next?
how close are we to exit poll as well? We're about 2 minutes away, aren't
2
we?
minutes. Okay, so I'm going to choose someone who I think was actually a good leader in their thing. So from Game of Thrones, I'm going for Tyrion Lannister, when he was basically in charge of King's Landing, when he was Hand of the King and the King was a prick.
Ah, that's a good one.
Because he did an amazing job. He was really effective until loads of other people showed up and sort of stopped him doing it.
He gets injured in the battle, doesn't he? And then when he wakes up,
Yeah, he gets slashed across the face, doesn't he?
his dad comes back and takes over, doesn't he?
Yeah. And like completely rejects everything he's done
Yeah.
because he just he can't accept that he's actually done a good job at something.
Yeah. That's a good pick.
Yeah.
It's a real shame what happens to Tyrion at the end of the whole series, like a series of series. Because actually, when he is
What happens to him again?
Daenerys's Hand of the King, Hand of the Queen, he's phenomenal. He's like I feel like he's in the right position at that point.
Brooke says Dan has never seen it because he sucks.
I've never
is that
seen
Game
the
of Thrones?
final.
It's true.
I haven't
Clear,
finished
simple,
watching it.
to
so.
the point, accurate. Love it.
It's also true. I've not indulged in. Watched the first couple of series, and I wasn't paying full attention, and I just got really confused with which old white dude was which old white dude.
It's quite big. It's almost like if you've never watched The Sopranos, the idea of starting that feels too big.
Yeah, I love The Sopranos though.
It's
Yeah,
also,
I just
like,
can't go back now.
because everyone knows how disappointing the end of the series of Game of Thrones was. Why would you start watching it?
The books. Tyrion is really good in the books.
He is very good in the books.
More that I then got sci-fi Game of Thrones in The Expanse.
And it's better.
I mean, I can't say because I've not watched Game of Thrones.
It's not sci-fi Game of Thrones.
It kind of is, Russ.
Not really.
Kind of is.
A little bit.
It's actually written. The books are written in the same format as the Game of Thrones books.
Well, one of the
they're
guys
just
that
written
writes
better.
it is George R.R. Martin's personal assistant, isn't he?
Yeah. It's literally
it's-
based on your history, Dan. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Your Pornhub history.
Yeah, so basically, out of a thing
What's this?
that was all about
what's
people
this
and
platform you're talking about,
ruling
Tom?
stuff. So out of everyone who's in charge of people throughout the whole of Game of Thrones, I would probably pick Hand of the King, Tyrion as the one that I'd actually want to be in charge of me at any one point.
You all know I had a friend in Game of Thrones, didn't you?
Or maybe Renly, who was
someone
just
I went to
having
primary school
parties.
Yes.
Someone I went to primary school with was in
What?
Game of Thrones.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who?
Ros the
She's-
prostitute.
No way.
Yeah, went to primary school with her.
She does not meet a good end.
No, I've seen that.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exit poll is being released in 4 seconds.
Okay, so
This is exciting.
do we just? I won't fit mine into 4 seconds.
Oh
unfortunately, so-
pretty
my
big.
god.
Oh, what is it? I haven't got anything up. So.
410 for Labour, 131 for the Tories.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
That's a bigger majority than Tony Blair's 97 win, isn't it?
What was that much? So that's
Oh, just short. That was
just short, I
419.
think.
419, wasn't it?
Jeez.
Yeah.
S&P have been
I mean, not a
wiped
huge
out.
surprise, but yeah. There it is.
Reform getting 13 seats is like
No,
the worst.
bollocks. I don't think that's going to happen.
That's just people wanting
I think
to
they'll
voice
struggle
their
to get
opinion.
13, but I mean, like these exit polls are pretty scarily accurate, but they would struggle to be as accurate with smaller parties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did not. Just quickly, I did not watch it to see her naked. Let me just point that one out. I went to primary school with her. It will be weird.
I thought you were talking about the exit poll.
No, that's
Like, Dan, Laura Kusenberg is not going to do that. She's
Ugh,
very professional.
I'm good, thanks. She's got evil soul.
410 seats. Is that more than Boris Johnson's?
They only had a majority of 80.
Yeah.
So he was 360 something,
I can't remember
350?
exactly.
No, 360, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Jesus.
That's a lot.
That's like 170 majority.
But it's an exit poll. Doesn't mean it's actually going to be the case.
No, not at all.
Because I wonder who the fuck is still voting for the Tories. But whatever.
For the past 5 general elections, the exit poll has been accurate to within a range of 1.5 to 7.5.
That it's
Really?
Wow.
the way they do it here. It's very. It has been very accurate.
Interesting.
So
Yeah, there's
unlikely to be
data
far
from
off.
voters at about 130 polling stations in England, Scotland.
But they're
and
very
Wales.
carefully chosen polling stations that reflect
Yeah.
shifts and marginal changes and things.
So that reform one, he could, it could be as well 7 point. So it could be as many as like 20 seats, but then it could be as little as 6.
Farage will get in.
Yeah.
I think the truth, Farage is probably going to get in.
Yeah.
That's so fucked.
And like
Yeah.
you know, some of the fuck ups that the Tories have been executing over the last week have just funneled people towards reform.
Yeah.
Yeah, but not many. It doesn't look.
I want to be right wing, but I don't want to be this right
Wait,
wing. I want to be other right wing. I
because
want to be
first
racist.
past the post, even
Yeah.
if they lose a huge amount of votes to them, it's going to translate more to Labour winning more seats because you
Yeah.
have to have you'd have to have a colossal loss of votes to reform for them to actually win the seat.
Yeah.
So it's going to suck
Well, I
votes
mean,
away
it's-
from the Tories in a lot of places.
Yeah.
But in most cases, that will translate to a benefit for Labour / the Lib Dems.
As everyone sort of keeps suggesting, reform does not have it does not have focused power bases around the country. It has scattered
Yeah.
support.
Also,
Still,
they
that's
won't,
too many.
They won't be any
reforms.
good as a parliamentary
Yeah.
party. They're the
No, they
standing
don't have
at the
anything.
edges shouting loudly at people group.
Standing
Yeah.
in the back, look stupid, dress stupid party. I love the fact that UKIP had the same colours as them.
Yes. Sorry, I shouldn't be coughing on air.
That's fine.
So
So
the SNP vote collapsed. The SNP vote has collapsed because the SNP have collapsed. I mean, look at the state
yes,
of them.
It doesn't help that
They're on,
the
they're on a leader that's only been around for a couple of weeks. The police
Yeah.
are still actively involved in their finances, and like they're a single issue party. And when that issue fades away a bit, you struggle.
It's a bit more complicated than that. They have also. The thing is,
they're not allowing us to toss cabers.
They have been. SNP have also been in government up here for most of the time, and that doesn't help. And
you
yeah,
get the sort of
changing leader
incumbency
and
drag.
why it's collapsed is probably it's gone mainly to Labour, maybe to some Lib Dems. So Lib Dems might have gained a few more seats. They were nearly wiped out here. They had like 1-2 seats up
Well,
here.
yeah, and like Labour will have recovered a bit
Yeah.
in Scotland.
So I would imagine most of the collapse has been, all the literature up here has been because the ferries have been a fiasco. You probably wouldn't have heard of this, but like there's a whole, the government owns both Calmac, Caledonia McBrain ferries and the Ferguson shipyard, which builds ferries, because they were meant to have finished these 2 ferries and they haven't. And Ferguson Marine went into liquidation, and so Scottish government bought it just so these ferries would get finished, and they're still not finished. And they haven't been. We've lived here for 6 years, and all the time we've been looking over the Clyde to the other side where these ships are built. So there are many issues which technically on devolved issues, so should really be a kicking for the SNP next year, but everyone's just used it, saying, "Oh, look, we can do this," and it's a bit devious. Anyway, sorry.
Same as that. People are just fed up.
have a listen to
Yeah.
this. This is a line from Chris Mason's comment, one of the BBC journalists. What does this all tell us, reflecting on the poll? It's very quick. We live in a world of unprecedented voter volatility. More people in more places, more willing to change their minds more often and more quickly about politics than ever before. And by tomorrow lunchtime, it looks like we will have our 4th Prime Minister in just under 2 years. How fucked is that, man? The UK has had 4 Prime Ministers in the last 2 years.
I mean, the lettuce beat Liz Truss.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's still touring, isn't it? It's doing the circuit, like over in the States, I thought.
Yeah,
I thought it was one of Trump's advisors now.
probably be better.
Anyhow,
Yeah, I'm not like over the moon. I'm happy to see the Tories go, but yeah,
I am too. I hope they spend the next 10 to 15 years reflecting and unable to make any ground, because all people have to do, all the Labour Party or other political parties have to do, is remind everyone that, remember when all your relatives were dying and you couldn't do anything, and so they were having parties. Oh, and do you remember they fucked the economy? And do you remember, it's too much ammunition for the next 15 years.
yeah. Well, they got to a point where they couldn't say, well, no, that was the last lot anymore, because they're all just recycling the same people over and over again. So Rishi Sunak couldn't say, well, that was the last lot, and then people would go, well, actually, you were the chancellor at that point.
You were very much a part of the last lot.
Yeah.
Like,
You were the second person in that administration, you know, because we know how this works these days. Tony Blair and Gordon Brown revealed to us the truth of the Chancellor-Prime Minister relationship. It's usually the person that is the propping power base. Anyhow, shall we go for another round or so of...
So, yeah.
let's do.
One more, yeah? So,
Yeah.
Russ, you're up next?
I just went.
Oh, okay, then it's me, isn't it? Okay, so from one film/book series, you can either pick the guy that has the heroic ending or the guy that has the bastard Weasley ending.
Bastard Weasley.
Okay, I'm going to go with Denethor then. Who, eater of tomatoes in the movie, in the most disgusting fucking way ever. He's a amazing villain that's given up on life because his favorite, and correctly favorite, son has died.
Correctly favourite.
It's just incredible that nothing can pull him out of this. He's just resigned himself to the fact that he's fucked. His whole country's fucked, and as a result, his whole area, I suppose it is a country, isn't it? Is fucked, and as a result, he's just going to let it happen whilst everyone is desperately trying to fight back. Really, really good.
He's just broken, isn't he, by the end of
100%,
that
yeah.
film? Just like broken.
I mean, he's not a great person anyway. He's still pitting his sons against each other, even though they love each other dearly, clearly.
And we learn that he's broken because he's essentially just doom scrolled. Because he's got a Palantir, and Sauron can't corrupt him because he's still a man of Numenor, so he's got a mental resolve like nobody's business. But he's essentially just spent too much time on Twitter and the wrong bits of Twitter, so he just thinks it's all.
He's a warning, I think, for men about the dangers of pride and ego, because like I feel like he considers Gondor to be his property.
Yeah.
You know, he's very much it's an ownership thing for him, and that
He's a
feels
steward,
like
isn't he?
Yeah, he feels like it's failed him.
But he just doesn't think there's going to be. He's a steward, but he wishes he could be king because he doesn't believe in the kings anymore.
Yeah.
He stopped believing in the line, and he doesn't even care. He even knows who Aragorn is. He's just like, I don't care.
That carries across to Boromir's opinion of Aragorn right the way through until the end, when he
Until the
realizes
end.
Aragorn's fucking great. Yeah.
One
He's
does
right.
not simply walk to Mordor.
I'd have gone with you to the end. What is it? My brother, my captain, my king.
And then they kiss.
Oh God, I wish. Yeah.
I have
Also,
started. I have
that
started
is one of the
finishing.
best fights in the whole. Like, completely off topic, but Boromir and then Aragorn versus those orcs is one of the best scraps in the whole thing. Like,
When he
up
cuts
there
the
with
knife out of the
Helm's
air.
Deep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Helm's Deep's the best one.
Helm's Deep is the best fight.
Yeah.
But I think second best fight is just Boromir versus
Right.
another shit ton.
Helm's
was
Deep is
just
the
my-
fight in the second film
Yeah.
Yeah,
with
you know, the best
fortress,
one.
the curtain
with
wall.
Shadowfax and Gandalf arriving
Yes,
at the end.
fifth day, look to the east.
And Aomer arriving with his massive dick.
Big old swing swong.
It's fair. That's a fair comment.
swinging it around his head, just obliterating like ranks of orcs.
Pretty well.
Yeah.
Missing from the books is that the all the trees turn up as well and like eat the orcs that run away.
Yeah.
Did the Ents show up
That's in the extended one, isn't it?
in the second one?
Where they run back.
It is,
yeah.
it is in the
In the-
extended edition, isn't it?
In the
Yeah.
book, the Herns turn up, which are the trees that
sort
are
of
herded by the
semi-sentient
Ents.
trees.
Mm.
So there's a forest there that wasn't there before, and all the orcs try and run through it, and they just disappear,
Yeah.
That's badass.
which is quite good.
I mean, we might as well mention that. Oh, come on, let's mention Theoden.
Theoden was the one I was hoping you were going to go
Good
for.
king.
Yeah. Fucking love Theoden. Theoden's one of my favourite characters in the whole thing.
and perfect in the film.
Yeah.
Just nailed it, because it's even a perfect characterization of the book.
Yeah. This guy who just wakes up from this like malaise basically and realizes everything that's gone wrong.
Yeah, everything is fucked, but he just nuts up and gets on with it.
He's the opposite of Denethor. Denethor shrinks, whereas Theoden rises to the occasion.
He was in a trance though, wasn't he? Like he was.
He was bewitched by Worm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Grimir.
Yeah.
And by Saruman, ultimately.
Saruman.
He was sort of possessed.
But even Wormtongue's regretting the decision. Like that bit when he sees the army finally, and there's that tear rolling down his eye of like, what the fuck is happening? This is crazy.
Mm-hmm. Deep regret.
Mm-hmm. So good.
Wrong
The old
side.
forest takes its revenge. Exactly.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
And Helm's Deep is brought down by Legolas surfing on a shield down a flight of stairs. I kind of love it.
I kind of love that too, especially because while he's surfing down the stairs, he's literally dispatching people with like his bottomless arrow pouch.
In the
It's like,
in the
never
books,
ends.
he does sort of go scampering around. He does just keep on finding any arrows he can. It's
Well, it's a bit like in
it's
D&D,
pretty-
isn't it? At the start, he's careful to mention that he's looking for spent arrows, and by the end, he's just like, no, he's shot 400 people.
Also, when the elves turn up in that bit as well. Here to fight with men. Let's go.
Is that your best elf boy?
No, it's
here to
him.
fight
He
with the
best Haldir
turns up
voice.
he's
It's
so
kind of
We're
like
here to
Haldir.
fight with the
Oh
men.
dear!
Yeah, Haldir.
I'm so pleased to see you.
Showing up for a bit of glam before
Yeah.
big scrap.
We're here to fight with the men.
We're here to fight with, to honour the old ways, whatever it is.
One
We're
of the
here to
old
fight
ways and fight with all the men.
Yeah.
Where are all the men? Are you a
I have-
man?
I have started finishing things. So
How-
if
how-
I've
do you
got,
like-
if
like,
I've
how does
done
a lot-
if I've
he's-
done
One of the elves that doesn't just like loaf around reading poetry all the time. At least he's interesting.
well, yeah, because he's one of the wardens.
Yeah.
He goes around stopping orcs getting into Lothlorien. It's quite a nice.
Who, Legolas?
No, Haldir.
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 You will do a deep dive into Lord of the Rings and nice little touches. As I revealed to my colleagues, I'm a bit of a nerd on Lord of the Rings because we looked up my boss was like, I really like what this company have done, and they do drones and stuff, and they're called Andoril. I was like, oh, that means Flame of the West. They were like, what? I said, well, they're a Lord of the Rings fan. You know, the blade that was broken got reforged and named Andoril means Flame of the West in
It's called Anduril after it's reforged, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
Narsil before.
Narsil, yeah.
Yeah.
Shards of Narsil. Still sharp.
Yeah, I accidentally
Still
revealed.
sharp.
It's still sharp. I accidentally revealed, not accidentally, it just slipped out while I was talking. Someone was asking me what I was going to do this weekend. I said, oh, I've got a few of my miniatures to paint. And they went, sorry, what? I was like, oh, just like little minifigures, like kind of Warhammer scale and stuff. And they were like, you like Warhammer? I'm like, yeah, no, really quiet. And it's like, okay, cool. It all went really quiet. And then
They're weighing up whether you're being serious, Tom, because they're about to tell you.
And then about 20 minutes later, after the meeting had ended, 20 minutes after the meeting ended, a guy who I get on with quite well messaged me and went, I used to fucking love Warhammer when I was young. So much of it. I was like, dude, really? Like, he was like, yeah, fucking. Like, I was like, oh, cool. What have you still got some? And then he just sent me loads of pictures of all the ones that he'd been making. Like back in his day, like he had pictures. Like I can't remember where he got them from, but like he had like some of the old kind of more comic booky looking Ultramarines,
Yeah.
all the like
yeah.
exaggerated features and stuff. So it must have been like what, 25 years ago, 20, 30 years
Yeah,
ago.
like third
There
edition.
is a clip that perfectly encapsulates that moment of like admitting you like Warhammer to other people, which is it's an interview with the cast of The Witcher, and one of the I think it's Felicia Day asks Henry Cavill, goes, so what's your big thing? He goes, I suppose the big thing for me is Warhammer 40,000. And the person who plays Jaskier in The Witcher goes, oh, you play Warhammer?
Yeah.
He goes, yeah. And he goes, who Custodes? And he goes, oh, I play Necrons. He goes, oh, that's interesting. We'll
And they go,
yeah.
we should, yes.
yeah, exactly.
we should, yeah.
Like they'd spent like months together filming. And yeah, and then it came out.
But I also don't like the fact that they are laughed at by the other two co-stars
Yeah.
for
well.
liking that stuff.
I think you have to take a bit of that, because at the end of the day, it is very silly.
Which is a very good series, though. Brings back a lot of happy memories. So.
Yes,
Witcher is a very
the first two series especially give very happy trouser memories.
Trouser memories.
Well, because I
Me
fancy
too.
the pants off of Henry Cavill as Geralt. Like
Yeah.
I fancy Geralt anyway because he's bloody a brilliant character. Like so complicated, but Henry Cavill plays him brilliantly, and also it's Henry Cavill, and you got to quite enjoy that anyway.
Yeah.
Love Henry Cavill.
He's very
Henry Cavill.
adore him.
Everyone says men fancy Ryan Reynolds. Henry Cavill's the person they actually fancy, I think.
I find Ryan Reynolds to be really irritating.
I don't mind him. I don't
He can
find
be a
him
bit
irritating.
much sometimes.
He's
but
he's so flat, like from a character point of view. Like it's just Ryan Reynolds all the time.
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean? It's
I
like
think for the Witcher,
he's
like,
the
Henry,
Brian
your-
Cox of actors.
Your motivation for this scene is you're so annoyed that it's just really sexy, and he's like,
Yeah.
got it.
Nailed
I
it,
got
yeah.
it. I got it.
He
I got
grubs
it.
up well as well.
Like when yeah.
He's one of those guys that grubs up well, like Aragorn. Grubs
Like
up
your
well.
classic
Fucking
Aragorn
hell.
shoving open the doors of Edoras. Oh, yeah. There was some popcorn spilt at that moment.
It is a moment, isn't it?
Why? Because you had it
Because it was resting on people's
Had it held
laps,
up.
Yeah.
the whole. Yeah.
It's cool.
All was holding it up. Twitch.
But yeah, like no, I need to rewatch it. I rewatched The Witch. I don't remember a great deal about it. I wasn't paying much attention. So
Okay, so a Witcher is effectively a mutant
yeah.
human.
I know that. I
Okay,
know
so-
all of that. I know about The Witcher. But
Let's
yeah.
start right from the beginning. In the beginning. Awesome. Who's next?
Duncan.
Okay. I feel like we should probably finish this part. So, I am going to say, the patrician in Discworld. No, I'm not. I'm going to say Granny Weatherwax because she's the unofficial leader of the Coven of Witches, even though witches don't have a leader. But
Yes.
Granny Weatherwax is the leader
She's the
they
most
don't
senior
have.
of the leaders that they don't have.
Yeah. That's a good
And-
choice.
Because it would be easy to say it's like you could always she's not a villain, obviously. She does things always protects people from their own stupidity most of the time, but she is the strictest person, and she's just one of the best characters, and she's just got some of the best philosophy.
She's such an amazing character. It's one of the. She's one of the longest standing characters throughout the whole thing. Probably I say apart from Rincewind, probably actually, because she's in Equal Rights.
Equal
which is the
Rights.
third book, and then
Yeah.
she's pretty prominent throughout the entire thing.
Yeah.
And I think it's from reading The Shepherd's Crown, I think it's pretty obvious that she was Terry Pratchett's favourite.
Yeah. Yeah, her and probably Sam Vimes, I think.
Yeah.
Because he put a lot into Sam Vimes. But yeah, I mean, yeah, she's my favourite. Well, I mean, obviously you could do a couple of Discworld leaders, but she is definitely my favourite of the leaders they never had. the fact that she got bitten by a vampire and makes everyone crave tea is hilarious.
Yeah.
She reverse vampired them.
But it's also like she
So-
doesn't like. She never really actually does much in the way of like magic. It's all just being strong-willed, knowing yourself, and not being taken in by bullshit. Is
Apart from
Pretty
when
much
she
what she
does
does.
do magic, it's always very subtle or it's mega powerful.
yeah.
And you know that she can do, like when they shift Langford through time, it's essentially Granny Weatherwax. No, it's all three of them doing it.
Yeah.
But that the whole sense of balance thing and sort of taking people's pain away and stuff, it's very interesting. But also the fact that she goes, the idea of, which is very crops up in Critical Role as well, but the idea of leaving the world a better place than you found it
Hmm.
is really nice. And also when she gets asked by Death, you could have with your power you could have ruled, why didn't you? So I was just happy to have protect the patch that's mine.
That's a good
So,
choice. To be fair, Lord Veterinary would have also been a very good choice as well.
Yeah.
One man, one vote.
For absolute power.
Yeah, he's quite like a sort of a fantasy, like this. He's a proper benevolent dictator.
Mm.
In that, he's absolutely ruthless, does not share power, does some pretty horrific things, but is also absolutely the best possible option
Yeah.
that they have.
Yeah, of a lack of options, he is the best of all of them. Yeah,
But like and sort of steers the city in the right direction, because ultimately he genuinely wants what's best for the city, not what's best for himself. Like all the other patricians have been venal, scheming grabbers that are just looking to enrich themselves, where he genuinely has the interests of the city at the heart of everything he does, and will be utterly ruthless in doing what's needed for that. But yeah, he is doing the right things, but while also executing anyone that gets in the way in really inventive ways.
I give you the freedom. It's like people have the freedom to do what they want, as long as I don't, as long as it follows the rule of what is it? It's freedom. As long as I approve it, you can do what you like as long as I approve of it.
Like, I mean, his quote about like the free will being and freedom, including the ultimate freedom, which is the freedom to take the consequences, which is something that people that spaff on about freedom of speech online just don't get. Is it in Going Postal, where he's released the guy from prison and he's talking to him in his office, and he just says, if at any point you wish to leave, you can just walk out that door over there, and behind that door is just a colossal pit with spikes down at the bottom of it. But you have a choice.
Yeah. I like that a lot.
Yeah,
Tom?
it's pretty cool.
We've got
Round us
one
up.
more.
Yeah.
Should we do one more?
We have
I've
been
got-
wanging on for quite a while.
Yeah. Tom,
Well,
I've
I've
got
got-
one more.
I've got one more.
Yeah.
I think it's my last turn, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Emperor Palpatine.
Palps.
Palpatine. Absolutely one of my favourites.
What are you looking for? Professionality, honor? No. Theatrical showboating.
Theatrical showboating, and the fact that if you're like me and you read all of the stuff that contains him, the graphic novels and things like that, he is genuinely one of the most evil and callous and disregarding people that you would ever have the misfortune to meet. Interested only in his own power, only in his own self-preservation of that power, and that's all he cares about. Nothing else matters. Friends don't exist to him. Even Darth Vader is not a friend. Vader is a slave. He's evil, and I have to say, the 3 prequel films make him even more evil if you just take the films as canon. Like, he's proper evil. Palpatine has only ever been bad, like as in a bad character, once, and that was in The Rise of Skywalker. When
God, I hate that film
it
so
ruined
much.
it ruined everything because somehow Palpatine returned. It was much better that Palpatine died when he died, because everything up to that was fucking fantastic. He
But no, old
obliterated the
Grandpa
Jedi Order.
Palpatine has to
No.
Yeah,
involved.
zombie Palpatine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
just
fucked it all.
as soon
Oh,
as
what would
they
be cool is if we
realised-
have an actual choir singing humming fucking Duel of Fates throughout that whole bit as well. Why
Why
the fuck are they even there?
Yeah.
And how do they know that tune? It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense at all.
Fuck, I hate that film so fucking much.
I hate it. I hate it.
Proper stupid.
Bonus leader is Snoke, who in The Last Jedi actually came across as a very scary and powerful individual
Yep.
and was ruined by Rise of Skywalker, ironically.
Yeah.
Yeah, Snoke. Actually, the first 2 films of the sequels, he was quite cool as well.
I agree.
Kylo Ren, not so much, unfortunately. Adam Driver played him great, but not a good leader.
Yeah.
I mean, he wasn't meant to be a good leader, though, was he? He was volatile and petulant and childish and out for his own purposes rather than actually trying to do anything for the First Order.
Yeah.
Much, isn't it?
Dan, I've just noticed that you have a stack of Warhammer behind you that looks like it's about to fall on you.
No, it's fine. That's my pile of shame. I have to put it behind me to remind myself to build these things.
I've been looking at some of the Horus Heresy stuff, and I have to say I am really fucking tempted.
Yeah, join me, Tom. I've got no one to play with.
There's some really gorgeous stuff in there.
I am holding.
You're going a bit Dalek-y.
Some of the Auxilla stuff is
I know. So
amazing.
good.
Come play with me, Tom.
But there's the new
Trying to get
Mechanicus coming out for.
Is your connection gone, Duncan? I can't
Yeah.
hear you.
You can't hear me.
No, you've gone all like
You're just sounding a
jittery.
bit roboty. It's okay.
They're
We can hear
cutting
you.
the internet connection off. The SNP are currently cutting it off right now.
Hang on.
Oh, God.
Nicholas Sturgeon
I can actually hear you
committing one
fine.
last act
That's
of
the problem.
vandalism on the way out.
We can't
sounds-
hear you though.
It sounds
How-
like you've eaten a lot of chocolate and you've got like chocolate voice. You know when it gets
How
stuck in
does
your throat.
Dan
I'm
have
gonna talk like
friends when he's so wrong about everything?
That is.
Who said
We've been
that?
wondering that for 20 years.
Brooke, that's savage.
It's my opinions on Boromir, apparently.
The reason you have friends
Yeah.
is precisely because I think you have strong opinions. I've always respected that about you.
Still won't fucking watch the Expanse, though, will you?
No.
No, but this is the
that any
point.
better?
This is the point. Doesn't have good recommendations. Totally not my cup of tea. But very strong opinions, and I've always respected that.
Thank you.
Very strong
can you-
opinions as to exactly why you are such a bell end.
Yeah.
Can we finish on actually the best tyrant
Sure.
in
And
any
if it's
movie?
quick, keep it top line.
Keep it top line
Elevator pitch.
because we can't really hear you.
Sheriff from Nottingham.
Hmm?
Sheriff from
Oh,
Nottingham.
yes,
Oh, Sheriff Nottingham's a good choice. Yeah.
Alan Rickman's Sheriff of Nottingham.
Yes.
do I do
yes,
it? Do I say
Alan
this?
Rickman.
Do I say this? Not technically a leader though.
Yes, he is.
Oh, Tony Robinson's
Funny.
Sheriff of Nottingham, equally up there.
Yeah,
My
that's true.
lord, it's pancake day.
You don't deserve Tom.
Pancake day.
Thanks, Brooke. Ouch.
What?
So-
Who? What did Brooke? Did Brooke
Apparently, I
insult
don't
me?
deserve you, Tom.
Yeah. Oh, Dan, you deserve so much more than me.
No, I don't. I deserve exactly you.
I am what remains.
I do like to think it's true what they said about like everyone was taking that film super seriously, and Rickman was just like, "I'm gonna go campers balls."
I love it. I love that film. It was so stupid. The film's dumb as fuck. But like,
Everyone was taking it really seriously, weren't they? I mean, everyone was taking it really seriously. Like Kevin
fucking
Costner's over
loved
there
that
taking it
film when
really
came out. I
seriously.
mean, let's face it, we were what?
They've got Brian
11,
Adams to do the
12?
song.
10.
yeah.
It was like I was not of an age to question how they walked from Dover to Nottingham in one afternoon
Look
Via Hadrian's Wall.
via Hadrian's Wall. Yeah,
that's one hell of a detour.
yeah.
Gonna
But
pop into Hadrian's Wall on the way down.
like I proper loved that film, and because I did archery, I was like, I'm super cool now. That wasn't true. It turned out.
Of course, you did archery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you guys used to do. Well, we used to do quite a lot of archery with James Gurnless, didn't we, as well?
Oh, yeah. Well, I've never done.
I mean, you've never done it clearly,
No.
but yeah, strange that.
How is he? I haven't spoken to him in ages.
He seems fine. I mean, and I say fine because I always assume that no news is good news. So I don't know. I'll give him a. I don't really want to reopen lines of communication. I'll give him a text. See what happens.
We haven't had Ewan on in a while either.
No, we haven't had. No, absolutely. Do you know what? I'll give them both a text because, or just yeah.
Oh, his little face! Look at him.
Because I like them. I like it when they're on.
You always miss them though,
Genuinely
Tom.
proud of himself.
Yeah, you've never been on. Never been on at the same time. Weirdly, Tom. It's really strange.
Yes. Well, I'm usually It's the prunes and the brownies.
Yeah.
I need to lay off them really. At any moment it could strike me. Okay, right. Well, we're done, aren't we? We're done, really.
Let's wrap this nonsense up.
We are as done as the Conservatives are for at least the next 5 years. So, if you enjoyed yourself tonight, please head on over to our social media and tell us your favourite leaders, bosses, dictators, tyrants, anything from fiction, from media that is fiction, not that the media itself doesn't exist, but you know what I mean. You can use the handle at TMTOOH on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And if you go to Instagram, check our bio, you'll find a link to our Discord server as well. Lots of stuff going on there, actually. Lots of chats, and I've got a lot of alerts sitting there waiting for me to have a look at. Dan, what's going on in your world? Is there any movies pods going on or anything like that?
Probably not for the next couple of weeks, at least. So we'll look at getting something up. We kind of need to do a mid-year review.
Nice.
Of the films, because there've been some really good films this year. It's been a great year for movies. So
nice. Well, we will look forward to that. So obviously, keep your ears open and your eyes glued to whatever podcatcher that you listen to your podcasts on. We are on Spotify. We're on iTunes. We're also on SoundCloud as well. You'll find us on all the others. We get picked up by tons as well, actually. And if you listen to us, you are definitely in the majority. But if you do fancy checking out all of our streams and you want to watch our streams live, head to our YouTube channel. Just type in TMTOOH podcast. You will find us on YouTube. Head to the live tab and you will see all of the live streams that we've done over the last 3 to 4 years. There's plenty in there. And so on that note, there's not really much else to say apart from it's going to be a Labour majority tomorrow. It might have been a Labour majority for the last 2 weeks. Russ, goodbye.
Thanks, boys.
Dan, goodbye.
bye handies. There you go, Duncan. You're welcome.
Duncan, goodbye.
Bye and bye, handies. Thank you for watching.
It's goodbye from me. Tom, goodbye, handies. Goodbye, Tories. And on that note, let's cue the fucking fanfares and cue the music.